Jim Lynn here. Good to be back in the workshop. I've been away for 10 days taking in the culture of the island of Islay on the west coast of Scotland. And by culture I mean whisky, and by taking in I mean drinking. Now Islay has the unassailable reputation as being right at the heart of Scottish whisky making, and there's 9 distilleries on the island, all of them very active, and there's 3 more on the way. So it's a bit of a holy grail for whisky lovers. Now, apart from the incredible cask strength whisky, some of which you can't taste anywhere else, and the beautiful scenery and the incredibly friendly locals, one thing we discovered was that we'd been mispronouncing a lot of the names of the distilleries and the whiskies. So, whilst I get on with preparing for the next video in my series on the three-legged workbench, I thought I'd just make this short video to answer the question, how do you pronounce the names of these distilleries and their whiskies? Have a look at this. It took us 2 days to get to Islay from where we live in Cheshire. You could do it in a day if you aimed for the last ferry, but that was full when we booked. But anyway, that gave us the chance to detour to the Annandale distillery in Dumfriesshire. That's always a favourite of ours. Their core range is the Manos Sword, and this is their 10-year-old. So leaving Annandale, going up the motorway past Glasgow, we spent the night in a little town called Arrochar, which is at the top of Loch Long. Now this is a good pronunciation point. The CH sound in Scottish is a soft H, like hotel. So it's Arrochar, Loch Long. Getting up early the next morning, we set off on the long drive down to Campbelltown on the Kintyre Peninsula. In Campbelltown there's 3 distilleries, Springbank, Kilkerran and Glen-Scotia. We had a nice tour at Springbank and I came away with several bottles. This is one of them, the Springbank Handful Distillery Exclusive, cask strength 58.7%. Just up the road is the Glen-Scotia Distillery. Now we didn't have much time left, so there wasn't enough time to taste much, so I just got this taster pack. It's got the double cask at 46%, 15-year-old at 46% and a Victoriana at 54%. Can't wait to try those. And then it's back on the road up the Kintyre Peninsula to Kennacraig, where we catch the ferry. Now the ferry sails down West Loch Tarbert across the North Channel, then up the Sound of Islay to Portaskeg. This is the ferry, the Finlagan, about to set off for Portaskeg. The locals tell me that the general emphasis on most of the words is on the later syllables, hence that Portaskeg is more correct for them, whereas I might have said Portaskeg. So this is the island of Islay. You'll note that I've been pronouncing it that way throughout, Islay, with a silent Y. It's not Islay, and oh good grief, it's definitely not Islay, as I've heard said. Now there's 3 distilleries on the east coast of Islay, with the Sound of Islay running up between them and the island of Jura. And the most southern of the distilleries is Killala, and it actually means Sound of Islay. Now I was fortunate enough in there to get this distillery exclusive bottling at 57.4%. Continuing north, the next distillery we come to is Ardnahoe. Now Ardnahoe means height of the hollow. This is quite a new distillery, but it has an excellent visitor centre with views over the Sound of Islay to the island of Jura. And in there I got 2 bottles, one of which was this Balsa, which comes in at 50%. The northernmost distillery on Islay is Bunnahaven or Bunnahaven. This means mouth of the river. This BH together in Gaelic is pronounced as a V sound. Bunnahaven has some great names for a couple of their whiskies. There's this cracker, the Toshashaga. Toshashaga. It means 2 smokers or smoky 2, and it's quite the mouthful. Next to it is the Moyne Bordeaux. Moyne means peat. Another popular whisky is Sturager. Sturager. It means helmsman. Moving down to the south coast of Islay now, we find perhaps the most famous of the Islay whiskies, Ardbeg, Lagavulin and Laphroaig. Furthest east is Ardbeg. Now Ardbeg is easy to pronounce and it means small promontory. Quite a few famous whiskies from Ardbeg. The first one is this one. It's pronounced an O, and it means the O as in the letter O, and it's named after a big peninsula nearby which is shaped like a letter O. Perhaps one of the best whiskies in the entire planet is this one, the the Ardbeg Ugadal. Ugadal, it means, according to the website, dark and mysterious place. One of my favourites is this one, the Corrie Vrecken. It means cauldron of the speckled seas, and it's named after an actual whirlpool between the islands of Jura and Scarba. This is one of the whiskies I bought at Ardbeg. It's an 8-year-old and it's a cask strength expression, 50%, and it's called For Discussion. Walking west, it's not long until we come to the Lagavulin distillery. Now, Lagavulin means hollow by the mill. This is the Gaelic spelling on the road sign. You can see that it's not just the BH that sounded as a V, MH is too. Here it is again on the Scottish toast Slàinte Mhath, which means good health. This is a distillery exclusive bottling that I managed to get. It's 56.5%, matured in bourbon and heavily charred American oak, so smoky. A little bit further west is Laphroaig. Now, Laphroaig means the beautiful hollow by a broad bay, and one of their whiskies which I acquired is a cask strength version of the lower and is called Curtius. That's Curtius, and this simply means friendship. The remaining 3 distilleries line up across the middle of Islay with Bowmore in the east, and then on the other side of Lochindal is Bruichladdich. Then on the Atlantic coast, just inland from Macher Bay, is Kilchoman. Bowmore is the capital town of Islay, and the distillery is on a bend in the road, and indeed Bowmore means big bend. Now, I couldn't decide what to buy when I was there, so I just got this taster pack. On the left is the 12-year-old, in the centre is the 15-year-old, and that's named Darkest because it's finished in a sherry cask. On the right is the 18-year-old. On the western shore of Lochindal, we come to Bruichladdich. Now, in this word, the CH at the end is silent, so we get Bruichladdich, and this means brae by the shore or slope by the shore. Now, part of the Bruichladdich range is one of my all-time favourites, and it's the famously expensive but explosively good Octomore whisky. This gets its name from Octomore Farm, and the name means big eighth, as in an eighth of a davach, which is an old area measurement. Now, the barley grown on this farm right next to the distillery goes on to make the Octomore 0.3 whisky, and I bought the latest expression, the Octomore 16.3. Finally, it's over the hills to the western Atlantic coast of Islay to visit the Kilchoman distillery. That's Kilchoman. Now, this distillery makes some of their whisky from their own barley, and it's grown in the fields next door, so they control the entire process from field to bottle. And this is what I bought. This is the 100% Kilchoman Farm barley, cask strength at 50%. Well, that was a bit of fun, but I do need to get back to work. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed drinking it. Slàinte Mhath.